Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about this pesky little error of another record with the value of X already exists. Now, how did we get here? So I was adding a vendor. I'm in the vendor screen. I went to accounts payable and I went to add a vendor. So I'm just going to test Tracy is going to be my vendor, and I don't need to enter a vendor ID because my system is set up to automatically populate that field. So we're not going to enter that. Then I need to print as, and I'm going to save this vendor. And I get an error that says another record with the value of V10133 already exists. This is my vendor number or my vendor ID. Well, how can that already exist if the system is automatically assigning that? Well, let's look. So we're going to go back to the vendor screen. Here's my vendors, and I'm sorted by vendor ID. So if I scroll all the way to the bottom, I can see that that vendor does indeed already exist. Here's that 133 ID. Bob Smith is my vendor. So it already exists. We're going to talk about why that exists here in a little bit, but we're going to first show you how to fix this. So obviously we can't use 133 and we can't use 134. So the next sequential number is going to be 10135. So we're going to go over, I'm going to duplicate my tab. We're going to go to Company, Setup, Document Sequences. This is where I set up my sequencing for all different kinds of areas in the system. So contracts, customers, employees, etc. And those are the employees, customers, vendor compliance records. This is where you're going to see this error happen sometimes in the system. So I'm going to go to vendors, and you can see, yep, sure enough, it shows that my next unused sequence number is 10133. Well, we know that that's not correct. So we are going to go ahead and edit this document sequence information. We know that the next sequence number is actually 10135. So we're going to adjust that and save it. And now if I go over here and try to add my test Tracy vendor, save it, it saves good. There's my 135. Then if we go over and look at that document sequencing, let me refresh this page. The vendors, and now the next one is 136. So it's back on track. So that's good. That's what we want to see. Well, how did that happen? In most cases, it's because you have done an import. And I'm going to show you what I did. I did this import for this example. I actually imported 133 and 134 vendor just to show you how this can happen. So a lot of times you won't even have this vendor ID filled out if you are importing new vendors because you know that the system's going to assign that automatically. Some people do fill this out though, especially when we load your system for the first time. We might have already filled this out for you. So if you had populated the vendor ID when you brought in some vendors, the system is not smart enough to know that you did that through an import, and so it didn't know to increase this document sequence number. So like I said, it's as easy as going in there and changing that number to the next sequential number. And that should fix your problem.